Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Budh, Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of trade and commerce, the planet of consciousness, intelligence. That planet is going in a very, very important zodiac sign, the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, which is in Kendra from both of the Mercurian zodiac sign, Gemini and Virgo. Here Mercury will be aspecting its own zodiac sign of Gemini, and it will be fourth from Virgo. So it will bring peace to Virgo and it will bring support to Gemini. This is a very auspicious placement, especially after 4 degrees in the sign of Sagittarius. Considering the fact that Jupiter is now direct, the dispositor of Budh will be fourth from the Budh, and which means this Mercury will get all the support, happiness and peace and guidance from Dev Guru Brihaspati. It's a perfect amalgamation to bring the Lord Narayan's energy. So chant Vishnu Sahasranam, take the name of Narayan, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, visit Narayan temple, or simply chant Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and seek the blessings, and this will give you power to get out of the problems and difficulties of life. One more thing is that Budh will go out of Scorpio zodiac sign, cross the Gandanta and reach the Mula Nakshatra on 3rd of December. This is one day after Venus ends its combustion. And then till 28th of December, almost the entire month of December, Mercury will be going steadily and strongly in Sagittarius zodiac sign. And one more thing, soon Venus will join Sagittarius zodiac sign from 6th of December, and after middle of December Sun will enter, but won't make Mercury go combust, but this will give power to Budh, and this is like Mahalakshmi blessing us with prosperity and abundance, and we should chant Shri Suktam and we should pray for abundance and happiness. This is a transit of abundance, happiness and peace. So let's discuss for each ascendant what this tiny, fast-moving planet, which has a huge role in our life, has to offer. But before that, do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you don't miss another update. Follow me on Instagram for reels and other interesting stuff, and follow me on Patreon for exclusive updates and extended cuts on transits. Let's start for analysis for each ascendant. Aries ascendant. For you, Mercury rules 3rd and 6th house, and this Mercury will move into your 9th house, and this is where the learning and the teachings will come handy. This is a very auspicious time for you. Sagittarius is the zodiac sign ruled by Jupiter. And there are 2 auspicious things happening around this Mercury. Number 1, your 2nd lord and 7th lord Venus is now out of combustion. And Jupiter is out of retrogression. Combine both of them and combine that with Mercurian transit in a 9th house. This shows that rapidly your destiny is about to change and things will move in a positive direction. The tasks which were incomplete will now be completed. The tasks which were stuck will now be in motion. And once your life is in motion, you can decide to take new initiatives, especially related to trade and commerce, banking and finance, something that is associated with travel, religious pilgrimage, something that is associated with the health of your father. This is also the time when you can communicate with your guru, and you can find mentor who will help you on your education, on your career, or even personal life decisions. Good time to talk to a professional person, and this will bring more help, more understanding and better clarity. 3rd lord coming in the 9th house is very good for people who are public speaker, writers, journalists, who work in travel industry, tourism industry, hotel industry. 9th house Mercury is also something that will bring blessings to people who are having good skills of talking, good oratory skills, who are influencers, voice recorders, music composers, and also this Budh is going to give you nice touch of leisure trips and will make you more happy. Just that you should not test your luck with respect to your health. You may have to be present like a guardian for your younger siblings and your neighbors. And your help and your availability will not only uplift your soul, but will also cut down your prarabdha karma. Remember, when 6th Lord goes in the 9th house, prarabdha becomes your destiny. That means you will also be made and forced to do something that you don't like, but you might have to do that. So again, the concept of what I want and what I need comes into picture. And sometimes even what I need takes the back seat, and what I'm supposed to do takes the driving seat. And during this transit, what you're supposed to do should be done. And if you're doing that, you will be completely in the driving seat. Mercury transit is an auspicious transit for students and for the elderly. It's equally going to bring equal opportunities for everyone, especially if you're an Aries ascendant or Aries moon sign. Just ensure that Mercury should be out of 4 degrees in the sign of Sagittarius, and especially if Mercury is in Purvashada Nakshatra, that's the time when you can win debates, you can give successful interviews, and you can also be able to cut down your expenses and plan your future. Good time for career change if you want, and a career related travel is also possible. Make the best use of it by chanting Ganesh Stotram and Ganesh Kavach. Taurus ascendant. If you are a Taurus ascendant and especially Taurus moon sign, you will experience your 2nd and 5th Lord going into the 8th house, thus increasing your risk appetite. You will also see that you will try to multiply your investments, and you would want to increase your savings by taking risk, by putting your money into risky investments, something that gives you faster and better return. And that is where you will have to be very, very careful. Yes, investments will bring good results. Yes, your hard work will pay off, because your 8th Lord, which is Jupiter, is now direct in your 11th house. But because Mercury is also a planet that can bring sudden ups and downs, especially if it is in 8th house, the house of uncertainties, that means you need to put your consciousness into the uncertainty. First, see what can go wrong, correct it, prepare the defense, and then act and take a decision. Being defensive, especially on finances, being defensive towards your children, and changing the approach of life, how productive you want to be, is going to be some of the ways by which you can make this Mercury transit a favorable transit. Sudden unexpected events can also eat up your expense, so spend less and prepare for the rainy day. You can also bring in your money out of your bank account and invest into asset, insurance, and something that secures your life. With 5th Lord going in 8th house, you need to be very careful about the health and hygiene, about stomach health, about what you eat, what you consume, and how you express. This is also going to change or alter the way your body language, the impressions of the body language, and also how you speak. It's a time when actors and producers and people in media and advertising industry can see some creative breakthrough. If you're a scientist, if you are into research work, if you are into investment banking, this is also a good time for you to see some serious positive breakthrough. And for students, you must be prepared for all chapters and all subjects, and don't think what is going to come or what is not going to come in the examination. Rather, give a holistic preparation. And if you're active enough, if you're not lethargic, then you will be healthy. And the moment you become lethargic, your consciousness will be trapped into the guilt and the negativity, and that can create depression. Some health of some family members can create mental tension. So you might be slightly worried. Be cautious not to put yourself into any kind of stress. Other planets are in favor. 8th house Mercury means your consciousness should be put into occult sciences, spirituality, astrology, healing, and you will see that you will produce some really good results from your horoscope. Overall, it's a very life-changing and a time where you can completely rejuvenate yourself. Gemini Ascendant. Your ascendant and your 4th house is ruled by Mercury, the Buddha, the planet of communication, intelligence, knowledge. And this Mercury, once it goes in the 7th house, talks about your presence, your interaction with the people around you, the public. You are outgoing now and you will see your presence more in the outside world, and you will be available for a lot of people. It's a good time to bring reconciliation in marriage. It's a good time to seek a partner or strike a communication if it's a matter of marriage and relationships. It is also a good time to bring your close friend into your business partnership. Start a new business contract or a business partnership with a person who is in your inner circle. With 7th house coming into play, you will also see a lot of dynamic feedback about your personality, about your karma, about your happiness, about your likings. So don't get disappointed if things are not said positive. Rather, take everything constructively. A fiery Mercury in fire zodiac sign of Gemini, may bring aggressive communication. So before you type something from your keyboard, understand that it is going to be your statement, your words, and you have to be very, very careful with that. Gemini, in fact, is a zodiac of communication, initiation, courage, and your courage will increase. And you need to be open with your friends and talk your heart out. If anything is causing depression, you need to be more open. I'm sorry, introverts. For you, you have to be a bit extrovert. You have to share your issues. And keeping things in your heart is not good right now. You have to understand that Gemini is dealing with an 8th house Saturn, especially if you're a Gemini moon. And when Mercury comes right in front, definitely you will have to talk about conflicting situations in life and then try to find a solution. Just that you have to take care of your health, especially from cough and cold, from any communicable disease, from any vector-borne disease. That means you have to take all sorts of precaution. From the perspective of career, it's a good time to bring in more team, delegate your task, expand your horizon, bring new members, and maybe bring in some more intellectual things in your career, expand your knowledge and share your knowledge. And try to bring in more exposure, because the more you see and the more you experience, the more you will learn during this time. It's an auspicious time, and the last month of 2022 will bring in a lot of new experience. And this is the time when you touch your inner child and bring that child out of you and enjoy life. Cancer Ascendant. Now, if you're a Cancer Ascendant, Mercury rules your 12th and 3rd house. And this Buddha is in the 6th house. Now, you'll be saying that 6th house is a house of enemy position and Mercury will be highly uncomfortable there. But you have to understand that Mercury gets exalted in the 6th house of CAPRICORN, which is VIRGO. So this Buddha is not going to be negative while it is in the 6th house. In fact, this is causing a Vipareet Raj Yoga, which brings a factor into play that if you have a mature communication, you can turn your enemies into your friends, and you will be able to convert adverse situation in your favorable situation through witty communication, through smart communication, through logical thinking, and by properly analyzing and interpreting data. This is the time when you should know your enemy, and the enemy can be anything. The enemy can also be your lethargy, the enemy can be the food that you eat, the enemy can be the hot words that you speak. Hot-headed verbal communication is not what you should do during this time. Third lord being in the sixth house, you can destroy your own life by taking wrong initiatives or using wrong expressions. If you control that, everything is sorted. You have to understand that because you are a Cancer native, Cancer moon sign, Karka Rashi or Kark Lagna, Jupiter aspects your ascendant, and Jupiter is the dispositor of Budh, which means you need to learn even from your enemies. You need to learn who your enemy is, and then you have to analyze and interpret data in order to solve that situation. Who will be in trouble during this time? Somebody who has an afflicted Mercury in a birth chart and born with Cancer ascendant. In your case, you need to chant Ganesh Kavach 3 times every day and just pray to Lord Ganesh, give food to the needy, and try to donate in some special causes. Overall, it is a time of change and it's a time of initiatives. It's a time when your expense will be towards your duty and responsibilities, and you cannot escape some of those responsibilities. Be prepared to take those bold initiatives, and you will see that if your analysis is right, if you are investing carefully, you will see some good positive changes in your life. It's a good time for people who want to build team, for students who want to prepare for competitive examinations. It's a good time to get rid of your anxiety, problems, mental stress by involving into meditation, healing practices, yoga, and holistic healing. Overall, it's a time when you can heal your life. Leo ascendant. In your case, Budh rules your 2nd and 11th house, controlling your financial matters. And when this finance lord Budh goes in the 5th house of Sagittarius, it brings the fire to earn money. It brings the fire to improve and improvise in your career. It brings the fire back in your life, and this will be extremely helpful to make you ambitious, career-oriented, goal-oriented, and you will achieve your targets during this time. But you will have to be ready to face adverse situation, apply all your knowledge and learning to solve the problem, and do not give up until you find a solution. 5th house Mercury will aspect your 11th house, and this will improve chances of getting a job after certification, finding the right course to enroll, especially for students, people in mass communication, people in share market, share trading, speculative business, people who are practitioners of mantra, religious practices, and people involved in banking and finance sector. Especially if you are into some sort of investment, or if you are a serial investor, this Mercury will make your investments more and more productive. Leo is a fire zodiac sign. So is Sagittarius. When Mercury goes there, you need to pray to Mahalakshmi. This is also the right time to see if you can invest in gold, and if you can build some assets and create some legacy for your future generations. Obviously, you will have to look at your chart and see practical possibilities. When 2nd lord goes in 5th house, one more aspect is to be read carefully, and that is food. Your words, your food have to be dealt carefully. You can heal your solar plexus by chanting Om mantra, by praying to Bhagwan Ganesha, and giving food to the needy. This is also the time when your financial greatness will be tested, because one who is a financially great and content will be ready to share his wealth to the needy. This is also the time when the greed and jealousy will increase, and the problem of comparison can bring in some seriously bad results. Do not forget that Saturn is still in the 6th house with a target of moving in the 7th house. But if you are humble, if you are ready to build rapport with people, if you are ready to share your learning and also learn from a lot of surroundings and circumstances, and if you're ready to be a good mathematician in your life, you will see some real good success during this time. Chanting Buddha Bij mantra is also auspicious, and visit Mahalakshmi temple for blessings of Ma Mahalakshmi. Virgo ascendant. If you are a Virgo ascendant or Virgo moon sign, you will see Buddha coming in your 4th house of Sagittarius. Buddha, Mercury, rules your ascendant and your 10th house. So it controls your karma and it controls you. When it goes in the 4th house, it brings more happiness. It brings peace, but it also frustrates you by bringing and drawing your attention to the matters of home. Maybe buying a property, building an asset, buying a car, repair work, vastu dosh, and the environment of home can trouble you, can take your attention away from the work and yourself, and maybe you are more required at your home. Do some community and social service during this time. And when you are trying to manage your time between work and home, personal and professional, you need to ensure that you are maintaining some balance. But if you are required to give some extra importance, you will have to, otherwise it will be forced. Buddha in the 4th house also brings the energies of the 1st and the 10th house to the 4th house. So people working in real estate sector, people working in hospitals, people working for comfort of other people, people working from home, or people working in vastu industry, furniture industry, will see some good boost during this time. It's actually a time of happiness. It's actually a time when you can focus more on what you want from life, and for a time take some break from your career. So this is also the time when you focus on your needs, focus on your aspirations and ambitions, and then realign your career goals and realign your personal goals and personal targets according to what the life is going to offer. Because it is the ruler of ascendant, you will have to be slightly careful about your health, especially if you are emotionally vulnerable because of a weak moon in your birth chart. But otherwise, for Virgo ascendant and Virgo moon sign, it is going to be an absolutely perfect time to build better relations, increase your inner circle, have a good time with your friends and family members, and have a good night. Sleep with happiness and peace. Libra ascendant. In case of Libra ascendant, Mercury rules your 12th house and it rules your 9th house. So it's a Bhagya Lord. 9th Lord going in the 3rd house, in the natural 9th house, talks about you taking control and in charge of your life and your destiny. It is the time when decisions taken by you will decide your future greatly, and you can choose which boat you want to be in your life. But you should not forget that Ketu is on your ascendant and Saturn is in your 4th house. And when Ketu is on your ascendant, Ketu will draw the communication, strength and courage from this Buddha, this Mercury. That means any reckless communication, over speaking about your own self can make you vulnerable. Try not to be too open with people and try not to be too trusting with people. But if you are indulging with friends and family and you are enjoying your life, that's fine. But when you are talking your secrets out, talking your hearts out, then you need to find a proper place of communication, proper person to whom you can communicate. This is the time when you will get help from your father, from the mentors, from the guru, and you will get proper guidance. That is why your communication is very much important during this time, especially if you are going through anxiety, stress, tension. If you are an elderly person who is unable to speak, who is feeling lonely, this is the time when you can mingle with friends, family, neighbors, siblings, and you can have a good time, a time that you can cherish forever. 3rd house Mercury is very good for people in communication, IT, telecom, software, writing, journalism, mass media, influencer, brand ambassadors, who wants to do something in writing industry, even any industry that is closely associated with these industries will see benefit because of this Mercury transit. Tourism, hotel will also see good positive boost, especially when it is a festival time, it's the time of New Year. So you can bring in necessary changes. You should bring in more creative and more passionate initiatives in your business and career, and you will see that you will be able to change your destiny even when the time is bad. By proper analysis, by putting proper knowledge and information and guidance, you will be able to turn the wheel of time in your favor. This is the time when you can chant Kal Bhairav Ashtakam. You can pray to Lord Ganesh. You can simply chant Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. And the best will be that every Wednesday chant Vishnu Sahasranam. Overall, for Libra Ascendant, it is going to be a very good time. But you should also understand that this Buddha will be under direct influence of Rahu. So your initiatives, your communication can also backfire and create controversies, especially in marriage or when you are dealing with your father-in-law, with your brother-in-law, or with your uncles. So when you are communicating, you have to be humble, you have to think of the other person, you have to be more inclusive, and when you are putting forward your point, be very diplomatic. Otherwise, the energies are positive, the energies are creative, the energy is mind-blowing. Pray to Ma Mahalakshmi, and for people who are students who are into academics, and if you just think that you want a proper guidance, pray to Ma Mahasaraswati. Scorpio Ascendant. For Scorpio Ascendant, Mercury rules your 11th and 8th house. So Mercury is responsible for any transformation in your life that is associated with your wish fulfillment, that is associated with your security, that is all about ups and downs, and that is also associated with your gains, sudden gains especially. And when this Buddha goes in the second house, it ensures a sudden gain. Maybe a sudden gain of inheritance, maybe blessings of the family. People in the family will also see sudden gains, and you will be collectively happy with what you gain as a family. It's also a good time to see that some auspicious activity will happen in your home. It also brings new members in the family, maybe a childbirth, maybe a new marriage. A second house Mercury talks more about your soft skills, talks more about how your facial communication happens. So if your face, you will see that your face will be and your eyes will be more expressive than your words. But your words will be equally impacting. So you'll have to be very careful because your speech is going to create a long-lasting impact. And so people who are employed with speech as their main focus will see great boost during this time. People who are involved into family matters, marriage-related business, event management, people who are involved in radio shows, background scores, music will see great boost because of this Buddha in the second house. And because this Mercury aspects your 8th house, it also gives you a chance to create assets, create investments, especially with your family members. It also increases the liquid money. And if you're a businessman, this will bring change in the way you operate your business. This will upgrade your business. And you should be ready to expand, get more orders, and you should be on the toes to work and get the gains out of this Buddha transit. With 11th Lord coming in the second house, this ensures that your bank is full, your stomach is full, and you are smiling. It's a transit of abundance. Pray Ashtalakshmi Stotra and bring Ashtalakshmi Yantra in your home for abundance and good luck. Sagittarius Ascendant. Dhanu Lagna has Mercury, the Lord of the 10th and the 7th house, the one that controls business, marriage, career. So two very important and outward expression of life. And when this Buddha comes in your first house, it brings wisdom, knowledge, data, information, intellect, consciousness. And with all this, you can see excellence coming your way. Being in the first house, this will also make you more witty. This will also make you more smart, but this will also make you an overthinker. You can simply target things which are impractical. So you'll have to be very careful, especially you should never compare your existence and success with anybody else. Buddha being the Lord of the 10th and the 7th house will also bring feedback from the career, from your organization, from people around you. And if that feedback is not positive, it will impact your psyche, it will impact your mood, it will impact your confidence. If you have a very strong sun in your chart, then you will experience a very positive growth during this time. But if you have a weak sun, like you have a debilitated sun, or you have sun and Ketu conjunction, or by any chance you have any sort of sun affliction, then this can bring in feedback that will demoralize, that can make you low in confidence. So how do you deal with that? Well, you will have to deal not with emotions but with brains. Any feedback is a good feedback. You should work on that, you should analyze, and this is the time when you can improve your personality, especially your body language. Work on your personality, work on your looks, because your public impression will matter more during this time. You can achieve fame, you can achieve name once Mercury is in your first house. This is a good time to bring new initiatives in business. This is a good time to bring new change in career. Your presence will bring better results. So take matters in your own hand wherever it is possible. Now with Jupiter being in the 4th house, steady, direct, combine this with the presence of Buddha. Combine this with the presence of Saturn in the 2nd house. It brings excellent planetary conjunctions. And somehow if you can ignore the negative energies of retrograde Mars in your 6th house, that means if you are avoiding unnecessary quarrel, trouble, you're not debating too much and you're not putting forward your opinion compulsively. If you're inclusive, if you are going together, if you are there but in team, you will see that you will not only get the fame, name, promotion, success, wisdom, but you will also get a very good companion. You might also meet somebody who can be a very good friend for life, and you must value every person you meet during this time. Buying assets, buying car, buying home during this time is very much possible, and even marriage is on the cards. This is a good time to start a business or something together with your spouse if you're married. Overall, it's a time of growth, it's a time of achievement. Just don't be overconfident, and also don't go into an emotional trip. Rest everything is fine. Capricorn ascendant. For Capricorn, Mercury rules your 6th house and 9th house. And this Buddha, when it goes in the 12th house, talks a lot about what will happen in the house of Prarabdha Karma. Well, when 6th Lord goes in the 12th house, it is a Vipareet Raj Yoga. That means if your matters are stuck, that is related to court, land deals, something that is associated with financial issues, these matters will come to a conclusion. You will see some progress in these matters and some settlement, especially out of the box settlements, may happen during this time. 12th house is also related to expenses, and 6th house is also loans, dispute. So you might also see that an unnecessary court battle, an unnecessary loan, fine may just draw out your money from your bank account and will become an uncalled expense, an unexpected expense. The best way to handle this is spending money where it is necessary, not avoiding the unavoidable and inevitable expenses, and trying your best to donate something, especially towards the education of poor children. 9th house Lord Buddha is also in the 12th house, which means if you are trying for a job outside the country, if you are trying for a company that is not based in your birth country. If you want to go for a foreign travel, if you want to join a company in a foreign land, if you want to go for a foreign education, export and import business, and even in your own country, if you're trying to travel from, or if you're trying to expand your business away from your local base, then this Mercury will prove to be extremely beneficial. 12th house is the house of subconsciousness. And when the planet of consciousness goes in subconsciousness, it makes sixth sense very, very strong. So if you meditate, if you are focusing on your gut feeling, then definitely it's an amalgamation of your consciousness in the subconsciousness, but this can also create problems in sleep. You will have to be very careful while you are sleeping, and you will have to improve the quality of sleep. Do not use your communication devices at least an hour before you sleep. Otherwise, stress, anxiety, health issues, all that can trouble your work, can interfere in your day-to-day activity, and can hit your subconscious mind in a way that you will feel either less confident, or you will feel that there are not enough resources. Yes, Saturn on the first house is exceptionally well right now, and it talks about discipline. And with Jupiter in the third house, it talks about taking matters in your own hand and taking care of your losses. This is not a good time to take loan for luxury, but this is a good time to improvise on your lifestyle and take essential load on yourself. Essential load. Nothing should be over the top. Overall, this Buddha transit will be more transactional and more connected with your life than any other transit of Mercury in different houses. You need to utilize this Mercury in transit to communicate with yourself. Aquarius ascendant. For you, Mercury rules 5th house. So it's a very important house. It's the Lord of Mantra Bhava. And 8th house, the Lord of in-depth knowledge, secret knowledge, ups and downs. So Mercury is basically a planet of speculation. And when this planet goes in your 11th house, it means you will earn a lot of money through your knowledge, through a bit of a risk, through your speculative business, maybe stock market, through investments, and through some bold financial decisions that you have never taken before. Being in the 11th house, this Buddha promises to give you financial gains for your hard work. And this also increases your network circle, and somebody from your wider network circle can help you in times of need. This is a good time for career change, but you have to ensure that you're not getting swayed by a retrograde Mars and the attempt of Mars to create a disturbing mindset, because Mars will be retrograde in the 4th house. A knee-jerk reaction is going to be very harmful during this time, but if you are doing a taking a planned calibrated decision or giving a planned proper response, then that's something that will work out in your favor. People who are looking for children, welfare of children, who are tensed about or worried about their children's education, will see their problems getting resolved during this time. 5th house is also about productivity, your expression. So this will influence a lot of people who are into public speaking, mass media, journalism, communication, acting, media industry, telecommunication industry, HR. And Budh being the planet of Vanijya, means trade and commerce, this increases the chance of increasing the revenue, you taking bold decisions that tomorrow will turn out to be fruitful to your business. And with 8th house coming in the 11th house, it definitely talks about change of source of income. So if you're looking for a job change, then this might be the right time, provided your horoscope permits that. But overall, for Aquarius ascendant, it's a financially and both personally and from the career perspective, it's a time of gain and time of happiness. Pisces ascendant. For you, this is the best Mercury transit because 4th and 7th Lord Mercury will be in the 10th house, house of career, fame, recognition. And club it with 11th house stable Saturn and Lagna Lord Jupiter being in the Lagna. This gives you the multi-dimensional approach to success. It will bring positive energy, new career prospects, recognition in your job, possible promotion, movement to higher designation. If you want to make a career change, then that will give you a better approach. If you are into politics, it will give you more visibility and success. It can give you more success towards executive leadership. 10th house Mercury will give you lot of prospects where you can improve and improvise in your career. And with an aspect on the 4th house, this gives new opportunities to build your assets, buy a house, a vehicle, or a land. Mercury being in the 7th house, being the lord of the 7th house in the 10th house, it brings in the element of marriage in your career. So it is a good time to start something with your spouse, and maybe as a family, you can involve your spouse in your business, in your career. And you can also see that if you are unmarried, you might find someone within your career and network circle. So it's an absolutely positive transit for you. Pray to Lord Ganesh, seek the light, and chant Sankashtanashanam, Ganesha Stotram, and Ganesh Kavach every day. You can also read Ganesh Atharva Shirsha for blessings and freedom from obstacles.